Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd with my friends at Yarnspirations.com. We have a classic design that is timeless based on coloring. You know, it can be any time of any year basically. So this blanket here is done in a really long row because this blanket is done in the lengthwise. So the height of this going up is much shorter than the length. So when it's displayed, it looks like it's vertical, but it's still essentially going in rows. So what we have here is a multiple of 2 chains plus 3. So if you want to change the width of this thing, then that's what you can do, or you can chain 159. Now the pattern is calling for yarn that's discontinued, but if you want to look at your favorite yarns that you see, if you look to the ball recommendation, it says it's a 5mm. So just match the hook to the yarn that you would prefer to use, and then you can get going. So today I'm just going to dive right in and let's begin. And you'll need a 5mm size H crochet hook if you're using the same size yarn, and if you're substituting, just use the yarn that's recommended on the ball band. This blanket also has optional diagrams that I've done for you, so you can be able to follow these as well. And you'll notice that rows number 2 through 11 is the repeat. It's a total of 10 rows. And you're just going to repeat those rows over and over until you get about 33.5 inches done. And the last row should be the 10th row, so you should finish off on this row right here to have the balance. Because if you look at that row to here, that looks balanced, right? So that's what the goal is. So once we have that done, you'll see that there's another diagram. And again, this is downloadable. Follow the link in the more information of this video, and you will see what the border looks like to be able to follow for the 3 rounds after that. So let's begin. You can either chain 159 or you can do multiples of 2 plus 3. If you want to do the multiples, then how it works is that you say 2 plus 3. So you go 1 and 2. Is it long enough? Yes or no? If not, continue. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So if you have something that you want to measure to, as long as you keep it like this, you can lay it down against something like maybe an existing blanket or something else, and you can get the width that way. Or you just go 1 and 2. And when you're happy with the width of this, and you say, okay, that's long enough for me, add 3 more. So 1, 2, 3. So this was multiples of 2 plus 3. Let's start row number 1. Let's go 4th chain from the hook. So just look here, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I always turn it around to get the back hump of the chain. It looks better. And you want to double crochet. If you disagree with me, just use whatever part of the chain that you want to, as long as it's the 4th chain from the hook. So now that you have that one, and if you did the back hump like I did, the chain will stay turned upside down, and just go along evenly across your chain of 1 double crochet in each chain across. So once you come all the way across your chain, I'm going to be changing the colors as it's recommending in the pattern, because that's part of the appeal. I'm just using solid colors today. So I'm going to go right to the very end. I got 1 more chain to go. And I'm going to show you how to change the colors. Okay, so let's change our color out. I have a Cricut in my studio if you haven't figured that out yet. So I want to trim my yarn, and I want to pull it through this loop. The trick for me is to realize that this is where I'm finishing. So when I start, I got to make sure that I'm starting on the proper side. So I'm going to take this and take it through a tapestry needle. It's the best way to do it, especially if the baby's handling this thing. And I want you just to drag this underneath the stitch work. Now you don't want to drag it necessarily through the stitches itself. You want to go in between plies as well. If you start separating plies, it's very hard to get out. So make sure that when you do this, that you know that it's right. Essentially, it's hard to get out once you put this in. So once you go the first time, you're going to go through a different path. Again, break apart those plies and go back. And then finally, go back again. So you don't want to interfere with the top edge so that it doesn't interfere with your stitch counts. And so every time I change color, this is what I'm recommending, and you should do the same thing. Once you have that done, then you can just safely trim. And you can also get rid of the starting one as well. So I've now woven in my ends, and it's right here. So I'm going to start with row number 2 next, and I'm going to turn it and get ready to get that done. So we're going to change color to color A. So you'll notice that there's a lot of color changing, so that's up to you on what you want to do. The advantage to this blanket, though, it's done in the lengthwise, so it's longer in the sense that it's much wider than it is tall, so therefore you won't be changing colors as often. I want you now to come into the top, and it says single crochet in each double crochet, so I want you to put it onto your hook and come into the starting, and I want to show you a standing single crochet. So right where you are, if this is already on the hook, yarn over, pull through, and now you see 2 loops, so it looks like single crochet, pull through there, and that was a standing single crochet. So you can crochet right up over top of the strand, but just make sure you use tapestry needle to hide in the remaining strand later. So I want you just to single crochet across and crochet up over top of that strand for about an inch or so, and then just let it fall to the back side, and you'll use a tapestry needle to hide that in later. Okay, so continue to single crochet across on row number 2. Remember that the turning chain counts as a stitch, so make sure you don't forget that, because it looks like you could be finished, but you're not. You got to go into that turning chain right at the top to complete. Okay, now it's flat. So let's turn our work, and we're going to continue this color to row number 3. In row number 3, we want to use the back loop only, so we're going to chain up 1. Now in crochet, there's always 2 loops that make up 1 stitch, so when you go under both, that's a stitch. If you go under the loop that is closest to you, that's the front loop, and the other one that is the furthest from you is the back loop, and that's where you're going to go for this entire row. So we've already chained 1 first, so starting in the same stitch you're coming out of, just do a back loop, single crochet, and this is going to create texture in your work. So single crochet in the back loop only, going all the way across for row number 3. We are going to get rid of this color at the end of this row and switch over to something else. So now that I've come all the way across, I'm going to end this color like I just showed you before, and then I want to bring back the main color, which is this blue right here. And I'll be doing that, and I'll be right back to start you the next row. Once the color is fastened off, turn your work, and let's begin. We'll do row number 4. So it's going to be a single crochet across, and I would recommend that you do it like I showed you before, where we're going to do a standing single crochet into the top of the beginning stitch. So put it onto the hook, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops, and that's a standing single crochet. If you don't like that, just attach it, chain 1 and single crochet in. So then you're just going to single crochet yourself all the way across, and then we're going to end this color again. And for the 5th row, we're going to be doing the bobbles, which is the fun part, which we'll be then using color B. And I'll be right back in a moment. So at the end of number 4, this is where you're going to end this color. So let's get rid of that, hide in those ends, and then we'll be back for number 5 in a moment. So for row number 5, what's going to happen is that you're going to chain up 2, and then in the next one you'll put in the bobble, chain 1, skip 1, bobble, chain 1, skip 1, bobble, and you'll do that all the way, and you'll end up with the last one, second last one being the bobble, and the last one being a half double crochet. So this half double crochet and the chain 2 are both half double crochets, so chain 2 equals a half double crochet. Let's begin row number 5. To begin row number 5, you're going to go into the top of the first stitch, and we're looking at the right side of the project. I can tell that, do you see that this here has a raised lip? That means that it's good, and this end is kind of coming out on me, so I'm going to trim that down now. It's better to show stuff like this in a tutorial than it is to deny it. So we're going to continue. So you're just going to attach, so you're going to pull through and through. Okay, so we're going to attach, and then I need you to chain 2, so 1 and 2. So you've attached it and chain 2. So in the next stitch, you're going to place a bobble. These bobbles can be kind of difficult, so just take your time when you do them. So you're going to yarn over, and you're going to go into the next stitch, and you're going to yarn over, pull through. And you want to do that a total of 3 times. Just pull a little bit of slack, it's easier. So yarn over into the same stitch, pull through. Again, pull a little bit of slack, and then yarning over and in again, pull through. You should see this many loops on here. So your goal is to pull this through this group, but don't pull through the final. Okay, and then yarning over, pull through the final 2. And so this bobble will stand on its own. So now you're going to chain 1, skip 1, and then you'll do the same thing on bobble in the next. So yarn over and in, pull through, yarn over and in, pull through, yarn over and in, pull through, then pull through everything but the final loop, and then now pull through the final 2 and chain 1 to move on. I'll show you one more time. So in, through, yarn over and in, through, yarn over and in, through, pull through the group, then pull through the final 2. So I need you to do this all the way across, and I'll see you at the end of the row to make sure you finish properly. So you're eventually going to come all the way to the other side. And so the second last one, if your stitch counts are right, should be a bobble. And then you don't chain 1 after this one because you only have 1 stitch left, and you were going to just half double crochet in the final. See, that's what it looks like. We're going to keep this color on for one more row, so let's go for row number 6 and turn our work. In row number 6, you're going to chain up 1, and you apply 1 in the top of the first half double crochet. And because it's an edge, you know immediately that there's got to be a bobble that is next, which you're going to go into, and then you have a chain 1 space, so then go into the space. So then all the way to the end, you're either going into a bobble or you're going into a space. And I need you to do this all the way across, and the most important one is to make sure that you end properly, which I'll be there in a moment. Okay, and then in the bobble, you got the 1. And don't forget there's that chain 2, which counts as a half double crochet, which is right there. So just go right into the chain work itself, and then you'll keep that in balance. And you're going to get rid of this color. And we're going to move on to row number 7 using the main color once again, and that's going to be this blue. So row number 7 is back to the main color, which is the darker blue of the 2. And I want to do a standing single crochet in the top of the first one. I've already turned my work, just so you know. And I'm doing a standing single because that's what I like better. And all I'm doing is applying 1 single crochet into each stitch, going all the way across. And I'll meet you on the other side in a moment. This is row number 7. So at the end of row number 7, you're going to end this color and hide it in. And then we're going to begin with this color here, which is the color A. And that'll be taking us through rows number 8 and 9 using that color. Okay, let's start the next color for row number 8. And I finished here, I woven in my ends, and I'm just going to start with the standing single crochet in the top of the first one, and I want to apply 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way across for row number 8. So just start and just go all the way across, and I'll meet you on the other side in just a moment. So at the end of row number 8, you're going to turn your work, keeping the same color, chain up 1 and do a single crochet in the back loop only, just like you'd done before, and do that all the way across in the back loop. And then we're going to end this color at the end of number 9 and pick up a number 10, and the next color will be that we begin will be main color once again. So in my case, it'll be the darker blue. So let's get rid of this color at the end of number 9 and weave in our ends, and I'll be right back, and we're going to pick up the main color in a moment. Let's start row number 10, and I finished here, so I'm going to turn and I'm going to join it into the top of the first stitch. Now the first one here, because it's row number 10, is going to be a chain 3, so attach and then chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. Now that is counted as the first stitch, so your next one is right here, and so you're just going to double crochet yourself all the way. Now as I'm doing this, you should know that the repeating of the rows, like I explained in the introduction in the diagram work, is going to be telling you to repeat rows number 2 through 11. But on the very final repeat, the 10th row, which I'm doing right now, is your final row of the entire blanket. And that will show you that it will have balance. So I still have one more row to show you, and then we're going to be covering the border in a little bit. So just double crochet yourself all the way, and I'll be right back in a moment. So at the end of row number 10, you're going to turn your work. Now, the end of row number 10 is going to be the last row that you'll ever use when you're finished your blanket, when you're completely done, because you can see it looks balanced. But the repeat pattern is rows number 2 through 11, so you're going to continue the repeat. So you're going to continue to row number 11. You're going to chain up 3 and apply 1 double crochet in each. Once you have this done, you'll get all the way to the other side, and then you're going to head back to row number 2 to start the instructions all over again. And in row number 2, you're going to notice that you're going to be back on this color here, and you're going to be starting with those particular ones. So you can reverse the video to start row number 2 all over again. And what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to pick you up on the border and show you how that's done. So make sure that you are finishing on a row number 10 when you're ready for the final border, and you don't need to fasten off once you get that point. So back here in the diagram, we're going to pick up right here. So you can turn your work and make sure that you're on the right side of the work, and you can just start going on down this side, but it doesn't really matter where you're starting on this thing. The fact is that when you get row number 2 and 3, you're just on a corner anyway. So right where we're currently sitting, it says that we want to fasten off at the end, and you want to start over here. So let's just do it as per the instructions. I wasn't going to do that, but now I am. Changed my mind. So I'm going to just finish off here, and you'll weave in your ends. So when you go to start, you want to match the diagram to right here, and then head down the sides first. And you just want to equally space the number out. It's going to be the second row for these bobbles where you'll have to just make it work. And then once you get that done, it's going to be pretty easy from that point. So let's begin round number one. To start the first row, you have to look and see where the ridges are. Do you see that? That's the right side. If you don't see the ridges, that's on the wrong side. So make sure right side is facing up, and you're going to come right into the corner. Okay, so save the top of the stitch for the corner, and you just have to equally space out these stitches. So just come about halfway down the post, and you can do a standing single crochet here. And you're just going to look like it makes sure that it works. So you're just equally spacing out these stitches. The nice thing on single crochets though, the end of a single crochet row is typically the distance of single crochet. So it's only going to be the rows where you're using those bobbles or double crochet that you just have to make it look like it works. So if your blanket is starting to pull in, it means that you're going too quickly. And if you're starting to create a ruffle, that means that you're adding too many stitches too closely. So you just have to make it work and get yourself all the way around. So once you get to the other side, you're going to get to the very corner. Every corner in this particular one here, see, I didn't grab enough of this strand. So every corner is going to have 3 single crochets so you can turn the corner. So turn it by going into the top and putting in 3 singles into the same. And when you're on the top and the bottom of this, you have the stitch work to be able to see and play with. Okay, so just equally go around with single crochet, and this will be row number 1 or round number 1. Now once you get all the way around, the top of the first one you started with is going to have 3 single crochets based on what I'm doing here in the tutorial. So make sure that you turn that final corner and then attach. You're going to get rid of this color, and you're going to go and we're going to do these bobbles next. So it's going to be the same color. So get rid of the color, and I'll be right back and start your next color. So let's start the bobble round. Now the bobble round, you want to put it onto your hook, and you want to start in the middle one of the grouping of 3 here in a corner. And you want to attach and chain 2. Now the very next stitch that you have is going to be a bobble. Okay, and don't forget to chain 1 after it. Now you're going to continue, and you're going to skip 1, and you're going to bobble into the next. Your goal is to go all the way down this side, and I don't know if it's going to work based on the sense of the counts, and so I'm going to show you how to cheat the system because you've got the main body of it done. So if your counts are slightly off, and it's usually only off by 1, you can just adjust at that moment, and I'll see you on how to do that on my first turn, and I'll show you. So I'm coming to the corner, and I can tell that I'm off by 1 stitch, and you won't really know until you actually do it, right, that that's happening. So technically what I needed to do is that I need the corner space to be my next stitch. So I'm going to ignore this next one and just half double crochet into the corner. Okay, so I'm gonna miss it. So it looks like it belongs, right? So you don't worry about it. So now you'll chain 2, and in the same one of the same corner, you're going to half double crochet and immediately start and do your bobble in the next one. So even though you skipped over the one just before this, still continue the pattern as you know it. Okay, don't adjust. And then chain 1, skip 1, and then bobble along. So let me get to the next corner and let's see where we are for the counts. So I'm coming across, and on this side, where I am right now is exactly where I need to be. So I don't need to do any adjustments on this side. So after the last bobble, the next one is the middle one of the grouping of 3, half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet back into that same one, and then bobble starting in the very next one after it. So this is good. So just do any fine changes that you need to do in order to get it to be balanced, and then the next row it won't even matter because you got everything fixed in this round. On the final corner coming around, I want to go into the same one that I came out of it. I don't have to do any adjustments. So half double crochet, chain 2, and then just join it to the top of the first half double crochet or the chain 2, because they count as the same stitch. And so therefore you've gone all the way around, and now you're ready for the next round, the final round, number 3. In the final round, you want to use the main color, so it's a darker blue, and you want to come into any chain 2 space corner. So you might as well just start with a standing single crochet. So that's 1, and then in the same one, put 2 more single crochets. So each corner will have 3 single crochets total. Now each stitch will have 1 single crochet, and each chain 1 space will also have it. So you have a first half double crochet, the first bobble, and then your spaces will start. So you're just going to go right into the space and single crochet, and then the bobble and the space, and etc. And then on the corners, make sure you do put your 3 single crochets so that you can go equally around, and this will make the bobble stand on their own in the end. So when all is said and done, you're just going to slip stitch to the top of the first single crochet, and then you're going to weave in your ends, and then you'll be good to go. So I've already shown you how to weave in your ends, and it's a really, really neat pattern itself. I love the colors, and you can just hide in any yarns that you want with the tapestry needle, finish off, and you're good to go. And this would be a really great classic design to use, and depending on the color that you want to choose, it's pretty much timeless and genderless, and it's just amazing. So that's it for today. Have a good one. We hope to see you again soon.
Want to know more? Hit that subscribe now.